morning. I'm going to call a meeting of the Michigan City Board of Works and Public Safety to order this 21st day of March 2022. The first present are Mayor Dwayne Perry, myself, Virginia Keating, and Mr. Michael Vincent. We have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the regular hybrid Zoom meeting of March 7, 2022. Are there any corrections or additions to the meeting minutes?
None. Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is the opening of the bids of the 2022 sale of surplus vehicles, rolling stock transit buses. There are 4 items. 3 2013 Freightliners, Legacy number 40, Legacy number 42, and Legacy number 44, and 2000 Ford E450. Is there anyone here who wishes to submit a bid today? Then hearing none, then I'd ask for a motion to close the bids.
Motion to close the bids.
Second.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
Madam President, we've received 1 bid. It's from a Bill Coda. And the only item he bid on was the 2010 Ford E450 Supreme Senator Bus number 37 in the amount of $1,155.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to assign this matter to our attorney and to the Director of Transportation, Robin Tillman, for them to review this 1 bid that we received and report back to us at the next meeting?
So move.
Support.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is the opening of quotes. The first quote we are going to be addressing today is the quote for the Michigan City Fire Department roof replacement for station number 3.
Madam President, Assistant Chief Reback asked for sealed quotes from 3 local vendors. We received them from Arnett Associates, Inc., JB West Enterprises, LLC, and RL Roofing Service. I'm going to open the first one from RL Roofing Service. It's in the amount of $42,600. The second is from JB West. It's in the amount of $42,784.68. The third is from Arnett Associates, Inc. It looks like they submitted just a duplicate copy, but I'll open it and double check. It's in the amount of $40,960.
Thank you.
Let me just double check to make sure this is a duplicate. It is just a duplicate.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to assign this matter to the city attorney and the Michigan City Fire Department for them to review and report back the next meeting?
So moved.
I'll support. Looks like we had some sharp pencils out there.
Then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is the opening of the quotes for the Michigan City Fire Department roof replacement for Station 4.
Madam President, same thing, Assistant Chief Reback sought quotes from 3 local vendors who submitted sealed quotes. The 3 are Arnett Associates, Inc., JB West Enterprises, LLC, and R&L Roofing Service. I'm going to open R&L Roofing Service. It's in the amount of $48,350. The second is JB West. It's in the amount of $48,102.51. The third is Arnett.
All right.
It's in the amount of $45,440. And they just submitted, I'm assuming this is a duplicate as well. It is just a duplicate.
Thank you. Then do I have a motion to assign this matter to our attorney and to the Michigan City Fire Department?
So moved.
Support.
And I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agreement is an agreement for professional services, an agreement between the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety and the Michigan City Municipal Band for the 2022 summer concerts in the amount of $35,000. I believe this was on our agenda for the last meeting, and we continued it because there was some question whether we wanted to extend this to post summer season.
Yes, it was, Madam President. I tried to have a conversation, wasn't able to. We did talk about this last summer at the end of their schedule, so we need to move forward on this. So I'll not make that motion again.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public on this matter? Comments from the public? Does the board have any additional questions or comments they want to make?
None here.
Then do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion. Go ahead.
Make a motion, we approve.
Support.
And I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is the request to purchase city-owned property. Carrie McGinty, 225 Charles Street, is requesting to purchase the property owned by the City of Michigan City, located behind their property at 932 West 6th Street. Now, this was also on our previous agenda. We had this tabled from our March 21st meeting so that our attorney could research this matter and give us a recommendation. Did you want to speak to us?
Yes, please. So when we get these requests for purchasing city-owned property, what I do is I reach out to the city departments first. And I reached out to every city department, and no city department had any objection to the sale. The next thing I do is figure out how the city actually acquired this property and if there's any restrictions to us selling it. And there are not. We acquired the property through the LaPorte County Commissioners when it did not sell back in 2010 through tax sale. So I did provide this board with a legal basis on how we can get it sold with 2 options last week. So at this point in time, if the board so chooses, they could make a motion allowing me permission to put this up for sale.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public on this matter? Comments from the public? Are there any board comments?
None here.
Well, then, do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we move forward on the sale of this property.
Support.
Do you have a preference for the options, option 1 or option 2 as to the sale?
Under option 1 stated in the email from our attorney.
So just to clarify, that option 1 would be under Indiana Code 36-1-11-5.9, where I'd be offering it to abutting landowners.
Thank you. Okay,
So I'll support that motion.
okay, I have a motion and a second. Call for the vote. We have Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is a request for signage. Dimitri Francois, 1102 Lakeshore Drive, is requesting 2 do not enter signs and 2 no golf cart as allowed signs at the top entrance to Stop 6 Beach Walkway Path. Is there anyone here that wishes to address this today?
This is Tommy Kolodek from 1316 Ohio Street. When I read this request, I was kind of confused because it's actually unlawful to operate the golf carts anywhere in the city limits. In 2009, the state legislature passed a law that the Common Council would have to pass an ordinance for allowing the regulated use. The ordinance has already been passed recently in the cities of Portage, Valpo, Hobart, and the town of Chesterton. I think the only municipality in LaPorte County, the laws is the town of Wanata. Basically, it has to be equipped with turn signals and headlights and a window and seat belts. And I know the city of Portage, they require a $40 permit fee, and each operator has to carry a minimum of $25,000 PL and PD insurance. So, this putting a sign up there even for something you really shouldn't be doing in the first place. I don't know if that's public property or private property. I don't know why you can't enter on a public property. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Tom. Do you have anything to say, Captain?
Yes, good morning, Captain Jeff Lineski, Traffic Division. I spoke with Park Superintendent Ed Shin last week about this. I agree there should be a sign there. However, this is park property, so I advised him that he might have to get the park board approval to install these signs. But in any case, we do receive quite a few complaints every year about motorized vehicles, whether they're golf carts or ATVs using those beach access points to access the beachfront. I wouldn't be in favor of putting the do not enter sign. I think it kind of sends a confusing message that pedestrians can't enter it. So I would be in favor of just a motorized vehicle do not enter sign. So.
Okay, thank you.
But just to clarify, it's all under the jurisdiction of the park department, and this should go to that board.
So do we need a motion just to the aye approach? Certainly.
Good morning to the board and good morning, Mayor and Madam President. So I am the owner of 1102 Lakeshore Drive.
Would you
And
please state your name and your address?
yes, my name is Dimitri Francois, 1102 Lakeshore Drive.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So we've been in conversation with Ed Shin regarding putting the signs up. So when he initially approved it to put it up, he realized that we needed to go through the proper channels, and this is why I submitted this request to have the signs added on the Lakeshore Drive. So I understand what the police officer said regarding the do not enter, and my wife and I did discuss that. So I think the do not enter is more for deterrence for the vehicles coming down that path as well. So prior to our renovation of that home, it was a lot of bushes. So you couldn't even see there was a path there. Once we cleared those bushes, and that's when the problem started. One of the reasons why we're actually requesting that is because my son, which is the young one, 7, we're coming from watching the sunset, and he almost got hit by a golf cart, which was driven by a 16-year-old from Beach Walk. We've had multiple vehicles coming down that path. They park in the dunes as well, and they try to hide behind the lift station that's there. So this is why the do not enter, I think it'll be more for a reinforcement when I actually call the police to, give them tickets. And I do have documentation of pictures of vehicles that were being towed, vehicles that were ticketed, because, it's just becoming too much of a hassle. When we're there to relax. I'm there to just have my kids play outside and not really worry about vehicles coming down that path thinking it's a really steep path. And they just, I must say, they just don't care. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment? Well, basically, it looks like we don't have jurisdiction over this, so I'd entertain a motion to refer this back to the Park Department for their decision.
I'll make that motion, Madam President.
I'll second.
Then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is the request to purchase city-owned property. Coleman Moore, 201 Hoyt Street, is requesting to purchase all or portions of city-owned property located on West Michigan Boulevard, Highway 12, parcel number 46-01-29-303-014.000-022. Is there anyone here that wants to talk to us about this? Wants to address this matter? Hello? Mr. Moore?
Hello.
Yes, Mr. Moore.
Hey,
Go ahead.
good morning, everyone. Coleman Moore.
Mr. Moore, give your name and address first before you address us.
Coleman Moore, 201 Hoyt Street, Michigan City, Indiana, 46360.
Thank you for that.
No problem, no problem. Good morning, everyone. We own the piece of land in front of the parcel that's owned by the city, and we was looking to purchase portions of it or all of it if it's available for sale.
Thank you.
And we just want to make our lot bigger, that's all.
Thank you. Amber, why don't you address the issue?
I reached out to Skylar York regarding this specific parcel, and his recommendation at this time is that the Board of Works does not offer it for sale, that he believes that this could be developed for a trailhead for our Singing Sands Trail and possible future parking in this area, a rest area possibly. So he, at this point in time, is asking the board not to offer this for sale.
Thank you. You understand that, Mr. Coleman?
Oh, yes, I do. That's
Mr.
no
Moore,
problem.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem, no problem at all. No harm done. Y'all have a great day, okay?
Thank you. Then I need a motion to deny this request.
Motion to deny.
I'll second.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is for agreement for sponsorship. An agreement between the Board of Public Works and Safety and NIPSCO for their sponsorship at the Oktoberfest being held on September 2nd through 5th, 2022 at Washington Park. The sponsorship for this is the gold level at $4,000. Good morning.
Good morning. Terry Greetham, Director of Special Events for the City of Michigan City. We are extremely excited to add NIPSCO as our newest sponsor and actually our first sponsor of this year's 2022 Oktoberfest. Again, it is a gold level sponsorship, $4,000. And what NIPSCO will receive is mention in all media advertising and printed information, logo integration on event webpage and Facebook page with a hyperlink back to the corporate site, naming rights for one primary entertainment stage, which will be the NIPSCO stage, premium tent display at the event, and 4x6 banners throughout the event provided by NIPSCO.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public on this matter? Comments from the public? Any board comments?
None here, madam.
And hearing none, then I'll ask for a motion.
I make a motion, we approve this.
Second.
And I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
Thank
You're up again. An agreement for sponsorship, an agreement between the Board of Public Works and Safety and NIPSCO for their sponsorship at the Singing Sands Sand Sculpting Festival held on June 3rd through 5th, 2022 at Washington Park. Sponsor level is gold, $5,000.
Yes, so again, we're very excited to have NIPSCO on board. They are our second gold level sponsor for the Singing Sand Sculpting Festival. Again, $5,000. They will receive mention in all media advertising, printed information, logo integration on event webpage, Facebook page, and hyperlink back to the corporate site. 4 VIP passes which include access to the event each day, access to the VIP deck each day, and access to the VIP reception on Thursday evening. 20 complimentary tickets each day, logo created in the main event sand sculpture, premium tent display, 4x6 banners on surrounding event fence provided by NIPSCO, and logo on all printed materials for the event.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public on this matter? Comments from the public? Are there any board comments?
Motion to support and approve, excuse me.
Second.
Then I'll call for the vote. We have Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is the farmer's market agreement. Terry Greetham, Special Event Director, is requesting approval of the 2022 farmer's market agreement between the City of Michigan City, Indiana, and Beth Golding, Be Gold Urban Farm.
Yes, so Be Gold Urban Farm is a new vendor this year. Chantel Bagley, our farmers market manager, acquired this new vendor. They'll be selling a variety of food items as well as artisan soaps and other handcrafted items.
Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? Comments from the public, and then are there any board comments?
None here, Madam President.
No. I'll make a motion, we accept this vendor.
Support?
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. We have Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the installation of blue bows and wreaths. Becky Purcell, Family Advocates, are requesting to place bows, wreaths on every other pedestrian streetlight along Franklin Street to promote child abuse awareness, March 31st, 2022, and to remove them by April 30th, 2022. Is there anyone here to address that? Good morning.
This is Pressel. Pressel.
My name is Becky Pressel, 1772 North Lofgren Road, Rollingburg, Indiana. I am here asking the board if Family Advocates could install or have installed blue bows on every other pedestrian post. I think it's like from 4th to 11th Street in Michigan City for Child Abuse Prevention Month, April 1st through April 30th. They're like 14 to 16-inch bows.
Thank you.
Well, and my question is, would we install them? Does your street department install them? I mean, in LaPorte, the street department's going to do it. So I just wanted to clarify that.
I know he's laughing at me because I'm going to put him on the spot. Thanks, Sean.
Good morning, board members. Sean Smith, Street Director, Central Service, 1801 Kentucky Street. The street department wouldn't have no issues installing these bowls on the selected poles down the square. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, are there any public comments? Okay, then are there any board comments?
None here.
I'll call for the vote.
I make a motion, we approve this.
Support that motion.
Okay, then call for the vote. Mayor Perry,
Aye.
Mr. Vincent,
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Pressel.
Next item on the agenda is a request to purchase equipment. Cranston Harris, Superintendent of Central Services, is requesting to purchase equipment, bench, brake, hub, lathe at $9,420.80, and an on-car rotor lathe, $14,410.26 from Snap-on Equipment. Please state your name.
Good morning, Cranston Harris, Central Maintenance.
Thank you.
What I'm trying to purchase is 2 brake lathes. What these lathes do is enable us to actually take down some of the rotors that we take off of these cars and trucks. In the past, they've been throwing them away. Each rotor for a car is anywhere from $45 to $60 a piece. They can run up to $300 for a truck. I'm not throwing them away anymore, but I was able to repair the lathe that we do have, which is 40 years old. And normally it would take both sides down and the arbors broke, so we're gonna do one at a time, but we do take them down. Emergency vehicles, I take them down once and then I dispose of them. Everything else I could take down at least twice. The two lathes that we're trying to get One is an on-car. All we have to do is take the wheels off and set the machine up, and it does it by itself. That would improve our productivity down there, because while I could put either, rather than put two guys on it, I could put one man on one vehicle, and he can do all four wheels in about 20 minutes. Where now it takes us 4 hours to do it that way. So it would be a vast savings, and it would improve our productivity a lot. The larger lathe is for larger trucks. This price in here includes all of the utensils I would need to take the drums down to up to a 450 size pickup truck, Ford or Chevrolet, whichever one it is. And as we go along and a little bit more money comes my way, I'll be able to buy more attachments to put on the bench lathe itself, that we might be able to get the larger trucks. Because right now I think we're wasting money, because we're throwing them, they're throwing them away. They were throwing them away. And they're made to be taken down at least once or twice, as long as they stay within spec. But as expensive as they're getting, and the way we're getting them now, very slow. So our vehicle is setting now until we get a chance to get the right drums for it, where if we had these utensils, we could take it down ourselves. So these are tools that I need in the shop to improve the productivity and to save the city and my budget a few dollars, because it's getting expensive. And with the availability of parts now, it's going up, and the wait is longer. So that's why we're asking for it. I think the shop needs it, and it would help us out a lot. I've only got 4 guys. Last year, we put out 2,800 work orders. 1,600 of them were brakes. So you imagine if, say, 500 of them were truck drums we couldn't take down. That was anywhere from $200 to $300 we were throwing in the dumpster. And I can get away from that. So it helps us a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amber, how does this comply with our purchasing procedure?
It would be considered a special purchase. For instance, department maintains an affiliation with an entity called Sourcewell that obtains special pricing for these matters. So it would be an opportunity to save monies under Indiana Code 522-10-5.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any comments from the public? Comments from the public? Are there any board comments?
I have one, Madam President. In addition to what Mr. Harris said, which is totally correct, it's a substantial time savings, because so many vehicle parts, whether passenger car trucks, are made overseas now, and we're still really suffering from the backlog due to COVID. So I think this is a very wise purchase. It's a win-win for the city. Thank you.
Sounds like it to me. As a matter of fact, then, as has been pointed out, your vehicle turnover will be quicker. You won't have to wait so long.
Absolutely.
Did you have a comment?
I would just like to thank Mr. Harris for going the extra mile and finding this equipment and having the thought to save money, save time, and not waste in the dumpster. And thank you for that.
Then do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vinson?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is an application for a vendor's license. Mason Riffit, Northwest Indiana Lawn Care, doing business as Weedman Lawn Care, is requesting a vendor peddler license to go door to door, offering free quotes for weed control and fertilizer starting March 21st through April 21st, 2022, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hi there.
Good morning. Would you state your name and your address, please?
Mason Reffett, 905 Heritage Court, Crown Point, Indiana, 46307.
Why don't you go ahead and explain to us what you're asking?
So my team and I, back there, the 4 of us are going to be going around through residential neighborhoods, just door to door, offering free quotes for fertilizer and weed control. Just kind of getting the name of our company out there. We're still fairly new, and bringing that information to the homeowners if at all possible.
Thank you. Amber, do you have some questions or concerns?
I sent the board just a couple of concerns that I had. One, the certificate of insurance doesn't match the actual legal name of the entity, because the legal name of the entity in the application says it's Northwest Indiana Law Care, Inc., doing business as Weedman. However, the insurance says it's 5 Star Turf, Inc.
The insurance holders, 5 Star Turf Inc., are based out of Illinois. The Indiana one is the Northwest Indiana Lawn Care.
So we would need an updated certificate of insurance showing that Northwest Indiana Law Care actually has insurance coverage.
Okay.
And then the other thing that I did note is in the advertising, they propose to do door hangers all around town. I would caution the board with that because we do have an ordinance that prevents placing tags on houses under section 6-35 of our municipal code. Basically, you could go door to door and only hand this information out if a resident's willing to accept it.
Yeah, I had spoken with Ms. Gale. She had explained that to me the other day.
Perfect, thank you. So either the board could conditionally grant the license upon the proper certificate of insurance or table this matter until the proper certificate of insurance is presented.
Are there any comments from the public on this matter? Are there any board comments?
I have no issue with it, but I would table it till the proper insurance certificate is in hand. That's my motion, ma'am.
I'll second that.
Then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. This matter will be tabled pending your bringing us the proper certificate of insurance.
What is the time frame for that?
Well, we can't approve it until it's presented to us. So it's up to you. Faster is better for you, I would assume.
Okay.
So, sir, this will come back. I'm assuming we'll put this on our pending list for April 4th at that meeting. So if you can get the certificate of insurance in before then.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll make a motion to put this item on the pending list for our next meeting.
I'll second.
We'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. The next item on the agenda is the payroll docket for March 11, 2022. The city payroll of $660,309.43. Do we have a motion?
I make a motion to approve payroll $660,309.43.
Support?
Call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next item on the agenda is the claims docket for March 21st, 2022. We have municipal claims of $1,830,610.21. CDBG, which is Community Development Block Grant, of $44,524.48. We have Health and Life Insurance Fund of $179,378.26. for total claims of $2,054,512.95. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve the claims docket.
Do I have a second?
Support?
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. We have nothing on our pending items list, so we're down to the.
Okay. I do have one item that probably should have been on the pending item list. At the last board meeting, a concerned citizen approached the board about some safety concerns on Spring Ave by Tall Timbers apartment complex. So I did have a chance to go out there.
That's correct, yes.
So I went out there and looked at the existing signage, pretty much on Springland Ave between State Road 212 and Royal Road. There is no signage, no speed limit signage, no park signage, no pedestrian signage. So if you look at the second page at the map, the crosswalk at the east end of the park was not there to begin with. Last week, Sean Smith from the street department installed that crosswalk. So that has been installed already. I'm asking for the installation of pedestrian crosswalk signs at that crosswalk and at the existing crosswalk, which is at the intersection of Springland and the entrance to Tall Timbers apartment complex. I'm also asking for the installation of park signage similar to what we've done at all of our other existing parks. For some reason, this park was overlooked when we had our safety committee a few years ago looking at all the parks. So I'm just asking that that we install signage that is consistent with the existing signage at all of the rest of our parks, which would include 15-mile-an-hour speed limit signs and pedestrian crosswalks. And finally, the last item, or second to last item, like I said, there's no speed limit signs at all on Springland Ave in that area. So I'm requesting the installation of a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign at State Road 212 in Springland and Royal Road in Springland. And finally, at the existing crosswalk that is at the entrance to Tall Timbers apartment complex, there's currently a two-way stop. I think it's meant to be a three-way stop because there's traffic is required to stop both directions on Springland Ave. And there's also an exits, a driveway that enters Springland Ave at that intersection. Currently, there's no stop sign, which kind of makes it confusing because it kind of implies that the traffic exiting Tall Timbers apartment complex has the right of way because there's already stop signs on Springland Ave. So I'm requesting the installation of a stop sign at the exit to that driveway. I believe there's enough right of way that belongs to the public that we can install that stop sign without having to encroach on private property.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Smith, did you need to address the board on this?
I fully agree with Captain Leneski on this matter. I actually went out there and toured the location myself. We installed crosswalks. It's imperative that we get the stop signs and the speed limit signs installed out there because it's going to take me at least 48 hours to wait on locates. But I fully agree with Captain Leneski on this matter.
Thank you. Thank you. Are there any comments from the public on this matter? Hearing none, are there any board comments?
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to thank Captain Leneski on his diligent research on this. And I would make a recommendation by motion to the board that we implement every one of his suggestions.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Winston.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Captain. Good job.
Do you want to place this on your pending list?
Leave it on the pending list until such time as all of those signs have been erected. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comment.
Morning, board members. City Councilman Don Przwolinski. I live at 215 Gardena Street. And the issue that I would like to address today is the ADA crosswalk bubble pads that should be installed in the downtown area. I believe I talked to the board about this a couple months ago. So what I've done, and I'm on the Human Rights Commission as the liaison from the City Council. And part of that responsibility of the Human Rights Commission is to also look at disability and disability accessibility throughout the city. And these bubble pads, what they do is for the visually impaired, so that when they're walking from one surface to another, like from the sidewalk to the street, and if they have their cane with them, that gives them an indication that they're going from the sidewalk to the street. So I went down and looked at the downtown area, and I'm just going to say from 10th Street down to 4th and Franklin Street, there's 51 sidewalk intersections that go out into the streets. And then there's crosswalks that go from the east side to the west side sidewalks. And there is, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 5 of those crosswalks that will each need bubble pads put on them also. And then there's one sidewalk that is in between 6th Street and 5th Street, and it's a crosswalk going from east to west. There's 100 bricks in this crosswalk that need to be repaired. Okay, so anyone with any type of disability trying to walk on that sidewalk would not be able to do it in a safe manner. That being what the concern is, and in the last couple months, we're hearing of all this explosion in the downtown area, and the 2,000 to 3,000 more people that are going to be living in the downtown area. Well, don't we want our downtown area to be ADA compliant for all these people that are going to be coming to Michigan City? If you take a walk through the neighborhoods in Michigan City, the corners are basically ADA compliant. But you go to the downtown area where you want people to visit and come and spend time, that should be ADA compliant also for the people that need that type of activity. We have to make our city I'm just going to say disability friendly to everyone that has a problem, especially the visually impaired. That's why those pads are there, and that's why those pads are installed. Now, I know that I believe one of the concerns is the cost of installing these pads. But only 3 years ago, with the previous administration, we took a survey from 11th Street to Cool Spring Ave. This is the same issue. New sidewalks were put in, but these ADA bubble pads were never installed. And the administration agreed to have them put in. Now, if financing is the issue, we have to remember that the downtown area is in the North End TIF district. And those TIF funds are meant to be used for improvements in that area, whether it's streets, sewers, sidewalks, what have you. ADA compliance, in my mind, is also part of the big picture because it affects the flow of the people and the human traffic in the area. So you have financing through the TIF district, and the TIF districts are run by the Redevelopment Commission, and I'm sure that the Redevelopment Commission would be more than happy to help take care of that. Plus, we have $5.5 million in a riverboat fund. The last time I checked, last week at the council meeting, and I don't think that this is a very major expense, and it needs to be done. We could take money out of the riverboat. There's possibly $1.5 million in the general fund. We can take money out of the general fund to pay for this. We just got $8 million in ARP money. We can take ARP money and pay for this, and it would be done this summer. All it takes is go out and get bids, get the bids in, get it going. So this spring, we can get this project done, and Michigan City would be fully compliant in their downtown area. We want everything else to be beautiful throughout the city, but if the downtown isn't compliant, okay, are we compliant everywhere else? So I'm just saying that I, as a council member and as a member of the Human Rights Commission, that this should be a top priority to get this done for a different population of the city, for the city of Michigan City. Luckily, all of us here in this room have good eyesight, and we don't have to use a cane to get around to see where we're going with it. My point is, these folks need to have our help to making sure it's compliant, and that if they want to get around downtown, that these paths be installed and they can have a life just like as much as possible as we have. So I want to thank the board for their time in listening to this. And what I would like to do have the board put this on their pending list so we can keep this in front of us, so we get it done. The second item that I would like to discuss, and I brought this up a couple months ago, were the what do you call them? The traffic island safety markers from Wabash Street going down to Blue Chip Casino. I know that the city engineer at that time was looking into getting that taken care of, but he's no longer here, and I don't want to lose sight of that. So I'd like to see that be put back on the pending list so we can keep it in front of us and get it corrected.
Thank you.
All right.
Just for your information, I don't know if you're aware, but as to the safety island markers, the previous engineer did contact the state, and they said that they had to wait until, and I think he's here, he'll explain it to you, wait until the weather improved for them to do that. But Jeff, why don't you go ahead? Can you hear me? Jeff, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning, everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Morning, Mr. Wright.
How you doing, Councilman? Good to see you.
Just fine, just fine.
As far as the markers go, I did contact the state, and it's exactly as Ms. Keating said, that they would address those when the weather got a little bit better. And the weather is a little bit better. I'll compose an email and follow up on that here yet this morning. And then I'll copy everybody with the state's response. I'm sure it's on their queue to do. And hopefully they'll just give us a time frame when those might be done. I would like to comment just a little bit about the handicap ramps, the ADA ramps downtown. I did drive those the other day. I looked at them. And just for a point of reference, last year, we did 151 total ADA ramp upgrades, which is a tremendous amount of upgrades to the ramps. And the councilman is correct. The domes are for the visually impaired. It is a warning, a tactile warning for them to give indication that they are about to enter a location where traffic is present. And so the ramps, the councilman is correct again. At this point in time, the ramps are not compliant. I believe the ramps were compliant when they were installed. And typically what happens is when we put together a resurface project, we address and replace and upgrade the ramps to the current standard at that time. Now, with as many ramps downtown as you have mentioned, something on the order of 50, 60, maybe even a few more that need to be replaced, that could be done if funding was available as a separate project, independent of the resurface program. That certainly could be done. It's more than just putting them truncated domes, the bubbles, as they've been referred to. There's slopes and widths. There is a lot of detail that goes into putting those ramps in there. That's federal guidelines. That's not dictated by the state. That's a federal guideline. And they do come and check. They put levels on there. They make sure the width is proper. They make sure the slopes are proper. It's not just coming and putting bubbles, truncated domes. There's a lot of effort that goes into making sure those are compliant. I think that's, now if they were to go and you elected to do those under a CCMG project, those ramps would be covered and they are required to be upgraded under a CCMG project. The state forces that to be done. So I think that's pretty much a summary of the way I understand things. So.
Did you have anything more to say?
I just want to have the board put it on the pending list so that we can move forward with this and keep reporting on it have whoever the city engineer is, at the next meeting, have them start working on it and let's move forward with it. If we need funding, then let's get the funding sources that we need. Like I said, we have the redevelopment commission, we have TIF money that's available. They have millions of dollars in their North End TIF. They can pay for it. ARP money can pay for it. Riverboat money can pay for it. General fund money can pay for it. So to me, the funding's there. It's just, it's been brought to our attention now. I brought it to the city's attention, administration's attention, and the Board of Works attention. So let's get it done, get it fixed. We're going to have visitors coming to our downtown. We're going to have a population coming to our downtown. We have an 8-story hotel condo being built here. There's going to be one down here by the South Shore Station. We're going to have population moving through the downtown area that we never had before. So Michigan City has to improve what they have to go along with the population increase. So thank you very much for hearing what I had to say, and let's move forward on the project.
Thank you for appearing.
Yep, have a good day.
Board comments?
Yes, I have one. Councilman, it's important that you know that I agree with you 100% on everything you said. It will be, I'm making a motion to be put on the pending list. I appreciate your effort, your time and effort researching this. And I assure you that I will address this with the Redevelopment Commission, and any funding that they're not able to provide, I will appropriate that funding to make sure this is done. At a glance, it's going to be substantially more than the $100,000 that we appropriate every year for sidewalks, but that doesn't make any difference. I will appropriate that, and I trust that you will be the sponsor of it. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, then, motion to put this matter on the pending items list. Any question?
Motion, please.
Second.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry?
Aye.
Mr. Vincent?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
This is Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. There was a really bad accident right in front of my living room Friday afternoon. What they did, the utility pole that powered the street light, it collapsed. NIPSCO came and they replaced the pole and the light, but the conduit that powers the 2 decorative street lights on the adjacent corners, they left the conduit laying in the tree lawn, and that all service needs to be restored there. And they still got the fire tape up there, so that needs to, I believe that's probably the city's responsibility, not NIPSCO's, to do that. So that needs to be done right away. And
Thank you, Mr.
And then
President.
can we get an update on the CXS crossing at Tilden? And a lot of people are wondering why hasn't there been any demolitions come before the Board of Works in the last 2 years? Thank you.
Well, thank you. Let me see. You had 3 items now. We'll get our electrician on that today. CSX crossings, spring is approaching, and I was assured that we would be at the top of the list. I will get back in contact with CSX today. And what was the other one? Help me out.
There hasn't been any demolitions come before the Board of Works in the last 2.5 years, and a lot of people are wondering if.
Oh, well.
Just so you know, I did speak with Skylar York. There should be some coming. They're getting all the paperwork ready right now.
We've
So
got we're
Yeah.
aware of the backlog.
yeah, there'll be some coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
15? Good.
Okay, we have another matter before us today, I believe. Brad Minnick.
Good morning, Brad Minnick, Primary Engineers, 5841 Crown Point, Indiana. Thank you for the opportunity to talk to you guys this morning. Sorry about the short notice on this request to de-energize these 16 NIPSCO streetlights at various locations along 11th Street. You should have a list in front of you. These are associated and necessary to keep the NICD double track project on schedule so they can proceed with construction operations. The de-energization I knew I shouldn't use that word.
De-energization.
Thank you, Mayor Perry. They're cutting the power to these 16 lights. And NIPSCO's standing by at the ready to do that once they get permission from the Board of Works to proceed. Is there any need to read the list?
No, I don't see any.
It's not necessary.
Okay. So I just want to be here this morning to field any questions you had associated with that effort for the double track project.
What's the schedule for removal?
So NIPSCO representative said next several days, once they get the letter from the board, they would de-energize those lights, and then the contractor would be right behind them to take down the lights and the associated utility poles that they're on.
Thank you. Board, do you have any comments or questions?
Well, I'm just a bit confused, and I know that we're going to have issues like this with this project. Once they de-energize the lights, is it going to be dark all the way up and down 11th Street?
Well,
is there an alternate lighting system that they're going to have?
They also shared with me Friday morning the proposed replacement of lights to compensate for these 16 that are going away. So the intent is along the corridor to have beacon lights and not be as lit throughout, particularly as you travel to the west.
I understand. We've got an enormous amount of lights on 11th Street, so a little bit lower level lighting I don't think is going to hurt us. Does this have anything to do with that upgrade from 3G to 5G that we have to pretty quickly?
Not that I'm aware of at all. They're just moving the poles so they can proceed with the track project.
Okay.
This is Jeff. Can I weigh in on this just real quick?
Go ahead.
Couple weeks ago, we just, the issue came up and we asked them that the goal would be as the light was reduced, that the target be that the existing lighting not be, the amount of light not be diminished. That was kind of the goal. And it was all about pedestrian access, being able to see, and along with the associated issues of crime. But if there's a little bit of a reduction in the light, then, like I said, the target was not to diminish the amount of light that was there. But sounds like that might not be possible with some temporary lighting to do that.
Thank you, Jeff. Are there any additional comments? Okay, then hearing none, do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, then I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, the last item on the agenda is correspondence. We've received correspondence from Michigan City Fire Department, Chief Legault, regarding a matter that they need to extend time for an investigation and possible disciplinary issue that occurred on February 20th, 2022. This is for informational purposes only.
Yeah, please.
Don't we normally approve these extensions, Amber?
The board normally does make a motion to approve it.
So I would need a motion then to approve the extension of time.
I'll make a motion to approve the extension of time.
I'll second that motion.
I'll call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well.
If I may, Madam President, just to give the public a little background on this, this is to address some issues that we've had. And the chief was made aware of this. I think it will be 30 days ago this coming Saturday. So it's necessary that we take action on this to keep him within his time window to respond.
Thank you. Any board comments?
None here.
Hearing none, then do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Call for the vote. Mayor Perry.
Aye.
Mr. Vincent.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.